I have been seeing this gap throughout my career. And the gap is essentially that people have money or are looking for money. So the people who have money, they place the money in the bank. And then when they come to the bank to get services, there's always an extra caveat that they weren't told about.
Welcome back to Podcast Africa. My name is Amos Ngahu, and like we said, we will not just be counting our money, we'll be making it count. Remember last time we talked about disruptive banking and we hosted the CEO of Cloud9. Today we are more than excited. I know we talk about money, but rarely do we talk about the faces behind the systems. And today we are more than happy to host Hanisa Weru, Customer Service at Cloud9. Karibu sana.
Thank you, Amos. Hi, everyone. My name is Hanisa Weru, and I'm the Chief Customer Officer at Cloud9, co-founder, and I'm happy to be here on podcast.
Karibu sana. You know, one of the things that I was going through your profile, and I've seen you've been in high places, you've dealt with high net worth clients, and you've been in the system for so many years.
Yeah.
Tell me about where your journey started. Are you studied banker? Is that your first experience?
No, actually, I'm not a banker, so it's a funny story, right? When I was in campus, I'm a UN student, ex-student. And one time I was just walking in town and I saw an advert at the Sarova Stanley, and they were looking for salespeople. So, which is interesting. I didn't even know what bank that was, but this is way back, way back. Let's not share years, but yes. So, as I was walking past the place, I decided to just walk in and pitch. I had my CV. I was in third year, and so I presented myself and asked them, whether I could test out for the role. So they mentioned that they were looking for people who had graduated, and since I hadn't graduated yet, I did my pitch and I was like, try me, I could be able to sell. And there was a long queue. So the lady told me, just stand on the queue and then get in. So when I got into one of the rooms. The retail director at the time, his name is Charles, and I hope he's watching. So Charles, when I walked in, he asked me, so you're here for a sales role, have you cleared campus? I told him no. Then he said, yeah, but this is only for graduates. And I told him, and that's the problem. You need to try other people. Oh. Then he said, okay, fair enough. Sell me this bottle of water. So he had a bottle of water on the table. And so I started selling the water. I started explaining the benefits of having the water. I moved closer to him. And then I told him, at the end of the day, if you don't take water like at your age, and I remember he really started laughing and he said, okay, fine, have a seat. So when I sat down, he told me the only two reasons we're going to give you this job is confidence, because I walked into the room. And secondly, the fact that I didn't back down when they asked me to sell that bottle of water. So I was part of the 30, so a pilot group of 30 people that was picked by Barclays, when it was Barclays Bank, which is ABSA now. And we were the ones who were meant to go around the country selling loans and selling accounts and also selling credit cards. So we were very well trained, and that's one thing I've got to give Barclays. We were very well trained. We were put into a training program of about 3 months and then sent out into the market. So I know my ex-colleagues are watching. Yes, I was one of the top salespeople. I still stand by that. So I used to sell loans, cards, and credit cards. Loans, cards, and accounts at Barclays. And then thereafter, I met a client. During one of my customer visits, I met a client who offered me a job in Dubai. So I left for Dubai, that's in 2006. And I worked in Dubai for a year. And then that's where I learned my high-end customer service. I was working for Al-Futtaim Group. So I was working at the Dubai Festival City, handling concierge, and very well trained on high net worth individuals, how to handle them, how to move with them within the ecosystem, and especially at the time we were selling real estate and equally just selling property within the Dubai Festival City Mall. So I didn't like that experience, came back to Kenya, and I stayed here for about 3 months, and then I met the head of customer experience at NIC Bank, now known as NCBA. And I met her, had a very nice conversation with her. She's currently still within the banking ecosystem, Miss Sima D'Souza, and it was such a great experience. And she hired me as a high net worth customer service agent working at the Junction Mall. So I opened up the Junction Mall at the time, and we were managing all these high net worth clients, basically giving them customized service. So you do understand in the banking segment, there are tiered segments. We have the retail segment, then we have the prestige segment, and then we have now the high net worth. So I learned how to manage those type of customers, grew within the role, and in about a year and a half, I was called back to Barclays. But at this time, they called me into what was known as Premier Banking. So this was the black bank. At the time, everybody was wondering, is Barclays changing colors to black from blue? But it was the Premier segment. So I joined Premier Banking. I was a senior account manager at Premier, and I was sitting at the Westgate branch, and then moved into a place called Office Park on Wayaki Way. And yeah, so I worked there for, I think it was 1.5 years, where I met my next job found me at my desk. One of the clients I was handling, he decided to pivot and start a fintech company. And I was managing his account for a couple of months, and he asked me to join him. And I joined the organization as a global engagement manager. And my role was essentially to ensure that we are locking in partnership deals across Africa, especially with the telecommunication companies and banks as well. And with my banking experience, that helped me, pivot into that particular role. So I delved into fintech immediately. Didn't know anything about tech, but I was a banker. I was a proper banker. Moved into tech, and now all of a sudden we're not wearing suits anymore. It was a confusing time, but I transitioned gracefully. I was in that role for 7.5 years. Fantastic job. I managed to travel all over Africa, all over Europe. I met amazing people, and we built a near unicorn business.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I love the story that you have a global experience in banking.
yeah.
But you could land a job in any bank. Why start? Why be a co-founder? Why Cloud9?
So it's interesting. So my journey actually didn't end there. I moved into, from the fintech, I went into sustainability.
Come on.
So yeah, I know. I know it's like, what are you doing? But let me put a disclaimer. I am a salesperson. And I always say, when you're in sales, if you understand sales, you can be able to pivot into any industry. So it's not an issue of saying that I sell and I can only be in banking or I can only be in insurance. I know you're in insurance, by the way, at some point. But you see, with that, you can always use that skill to replicate it across the board. So that's essentially what I did. So I prefer to refer to myself as a high, I'm able to bring value. I grow businesses. So I'm a growth expert. And when I sit within a business, I just need to understand the vision. I need to understand what it is we're selling in terms of product, and I can take it out to the market.
Interesting, because one of the marketing gurus, actually my background is marketing. Now, guys, it's not finance.
Oh, really?
And one of the finance gurus just keeps sharing that it's not everybody who is a marketer, but everybody better be marketing.
Oh, yeah.
You get?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So you could be even a legal officer in an organization, but marketing is such a big thing. So tell me now why you've now gone into the sector of sustainability. Now you're back. Tell me why this is so important. Both applying your international experience and local experience, and especially now in terms of Africa.
Yeah.
What do you think? Why?
Yeah. So that's a great question. So the why for me is I have been seeing this gap throughout my career. And the gap is essentially that people have money or are looking for money. So the people who have money, they place the money in the bank. And then when they come to the bank to get services, there's always an extra caveat that they weren't told about. And I used to experience so much disappointment from clients, even my high net worth clients, because they bank, they're just banking, because banking is like, I get my salary, my money goes to the bank. But the day I need help from the bank, or I need something customized from the bank, it was very difficult to get that.
But Hanisa, they are they call what? Relationship managers.
Relationship managers. And I was one of them. And let me say this, and this is my personal view, not podcast, but Hanisa, I think that relationship managers have been taken down to salespeople. So they basically just sell. They don't create experiences, they don't build trust, and they basically don't care about the customer. What they're looking at is, this is my target, I must meet my target to survive in this role.
So you want to tell me these guys they're just meeting their KPIs, they're just meeting the numbers. Because it's true, I have, let me talk about a good experience, because I remember there was one of the banks that was going under. And I had a savings account with a different bank.
Okay.
So due to the availability, as basic as parking. So this particular lady, I went to park there, but that was my savings account. And because we had interacted with her, she knew I had other accounts.
Yeah.
So when I sat and I told her I want to withdraw, I was paying duty for my wife's car. So it had arrived. So I was actually with the guy who was facilitating. So she told me, don't withdraw from the savings. I know you have a current account.
Yeah.
In fact, I'll tell the soldiers to give you parking so that you go and pay. Actually, I just withdrew everything because it was almost the exact amount that the guy needed to pay duty.
Okay.
And in fact, I just counted they just gave me the money I needed, and then the rest they gave to the guy. And the following Monday, that bank collapsed. You get my point? And all because this person knew me and understood what I was doing and understood that I had several accounts.
Okay.
But again, the experience is not the same.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I just want to say that, again, there are some great account managers out there. I was one of the good account managers, I believe, for some of my clients. But let's just go through some high-level numbers. In a bank, you'll have the high net worth portfolio, you'll have about maybe 1 million customers banking there. How many account managers per customer? That should be the question. Ooh. And if you have 1 million customers, you will not have 10 clients per account manager. That means you're going to overhire. So they'll only have like 20 account managers managing a portfolio of 1 million. So you tell me, at what time will this account manager manage to speak to all these clients and know them the way your account manager knew you, Amos? Wow. I mean, the numbers just don't work. And the reason they don't work, it's not because people are not trying hard enough. It's because resource constraints and capacity. But there are some great account managers out there. I have a good account manager personally.
Wow. Let me tell you something. What does the future now look like?
Yeah.
What is different now?
At Cloud9.
At Cloud9.
Yeah. So basically at Cloud9, what we are looking at, and as I buy into the vision of the CEO, I believe that we have an opportunity to create a banking experience that is different. And by different, we mean we want to build trust. We want to personalize the experiences within banking, and we want to enable people to be flexible. Why do you have to wake up in the morning to go to a branch to do something? You could do it at night. And guess what? Many people nowadays, they stay late up, and then they have, they're always on their phones. Yeah. So what if we created an end-to-end banking system that enabled you to do everything digitally? Because most banks are digital up to a point. Then you get to a certain point, then they say, come to the branch. You know yourselves, come to the branch. So
we call it a hybrid digital.
Yeah, so it is partial digital, like work from home. You have 3 days work from home. So basically what we are trying to build at Cloud9 is we want you to elevate your banking experience. Your banking experience should be you. It is not us. It is basically your bank. Make a decision on what you want. If you want to if you want to open a savings account, do it digitally. Go end to end, place your funds, and see whatever it is that is happening. Another thing I'd like to mention about Cloud9, what we're going to be looking to do from a customer experience side is we want to tell you when you're doing good things. Banks are really good at telling you when you've done wrong. Yeah. So your account is overdue. You haven't paid your loan. Your credit card is due. The banking experience is, it's anxiety. Yeah. All the time it's like, why are they contacting me? In fact, when the bank calls you, you're like, why are they calling me? Yeah. We want to change that. So when you do good, we want to tell you you've done well. Guess what? This month, you've saved X amount. We've noticed you've reduced your expenses like this. So our system is going to have a built-in growth where we are showing you the good things that you're doing and the things that you could improve on. Okay. Because I believe that it's not, when you're always told that you're doing wrong, the relationship is never good, because even when you're going there, you want to have an issue with you have an issue with the bank. So for us, that's what we want to do. The second thing is, of course, credit is a big discussion. I won't go into that. Of course, a lot of people are giving credit, but it will be part of the offering. And then we also want to create what is known as a fun experience. You know,
Go back to the digital part. I like it because one thing I can conclude when you're talking about the digital, because the banks, most of these banks have innovation, digital department.
yeah.
You
Yes.
guys are the innovation
We are
itself.
the innovation itself. So no one in our bank, or
Yes.
rather in our team,
Yes.
is innovation, is head of innovation.
Yes.
We believe innovation should, number one, come from us as the bank, then
Yes.
number two, from you as the customer. You know, you could
Awesome.
send and tell us, I want this, like I think this would be great for me.
Yes.
We will take that feedback. And number three, we just want the ecosystem to grow organically. We want people to have a customized experience. They can set up even different, skins for their app and all of these.
Yeah.
You know, just a nice experience. And then beyond that, we also want to, walk with you the journey of growth. So yes, you've started with your small hustle, you're making 5K on the side, but you're still employed.
Yeah.
So we want to help you, like this 5K, how can you grow it? There are new instruments of growing your money.
Yes.
We want to introduce those new instruments. It's not only, what we know, bonds, bills, MMF, like there are new things that are within the ecosystem. And being a more digitally savvy bank, we want to ensure that we position this and enable people to get access to this information. A lot of people are walking around wondering, how do people make money from crypto? And then there's this thing now in Kenya about Forex. I don't know. I mean, we're not necessarily going to do that, but it's to say that...
Say trading. Say trading, that might bring a better context.
Trading.
Context.
But beyond that, it's to say that there are new instruments of investing. There are new ways of, running banks and running businesses. I think we've been seeing a lot of global reports.
Yes.
And so we just want to tap into that, and we believe that it's the time for Kenya and it's the time for Africa.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting because even when you look at the numbers, a lot of Africans, or especially the young ones, don't feel like the bank sees them.
yes.
Speak to that.
Yeah, that's true. I see, especially the youth, when they're banking, I believe that the only offer they're given is that open a bank account.
Yeah.
And then
And digital loans.
and digital loans. So
Which,
that's
which they're highly, and we've seen an experience of most of them being listed negatively because of the same. So
Yes.
how would you approach that?
so how we'll approach this is, number one, we need to have a lot of customer education, and our customer education is not where we're going to be sitting down and training people. We'll basically give you this information on a knowledge hub. We believe that this young generation learns digitally. We've seen the growth of stuff like TikTok.
Yeah.
We're seeing the growth on social media. We know that they are learning just organically. So we're going to push out information that is going to enable them to be able to, number one, understand what else is out there. How else can I bank? And how else can I grow my money? And how else can I build for my future? Because you see, when we started banking, like when I started banking, the biggest things when I used to visit customers was, can you give me a loan for a car? Can you give me a loan for a house? But now banking has changed. People want loans for their households. They want loans to do interesting things like ship things from China. And it's no longer the traditional, I want a car, I want a house, and I want school fees. No, it's not that.
Yeah.
People have changed. So with that change, we also want to adapt the system to be customized to that particular segment.
That's great. Again, there's a lot of we covered customer service week the other day, and there was a lot of people will come up with feedback. So there's a lot of some pain. There's a bit of some pain in banking sector. If you're to fix one pain point tomorrow, what would you fix that relates to us as young Africans? This is us calling ourselves young.
Yes. If I was to fix just one thing, it would be access. So when I say access is, and this is also going to be one of our pillars at Cloud9. So access in the sense that we want people to be able to, number one, have an end-to-end digital banking experience and have access to multiple portfolio options. So if you want to grow your wealth, this is your options. These are your multiple options. If you want credit, these are your multiple options. If you want to, to even have an event experience or something, you can also be with us, and these are your multiple options. I just want people to have access because I feel there's a lot of gatekeeping.
Yeah.
So people don't know like for instance, you can be banking in a bank, and your experience can be completely different from mine, and we're in the same bank. So why is that? Nobody has ever answered that. And they'll always say, yeah, we've segmented them based on portfolio and all of this. But what if there was a bank where you are the one who curates your experience? So even when you have the conversation with somebody and say, this is what I'm experiencing, it's based off of what you like.
Wow.
Because at the end of the day, yes, the bank can have created all these segments and portfolios, but even the people they're trying to attract to those portfolios, it doesn't appeal to them. And that's why you'll find some people are very high net worth, but they don't bank in the higher segments. They have normal accounts because to them it's like, I want a place to keep my money. That's it.
I love the bit, and inclusivity is coming out very strongly on this conversation. I'd like you to share, like, coming in, because I am a young person. I want to build my own story. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm now feeling included. What do you want me to remember Cloud9 for?
That's a good question. What do I want you to remember about Cloud9? I would like you to remember that we are a bank that is curated and set up for you. So for instance, if you are, the way you go into your social media, your Instagram is yours.
I saw there's a bit of social and the same even for groupings.
Yeah. So
but people just stay locked in, because what I've seen, I have gone through some of those aspects. Is quite interesting.
Yeah.
So you're back to the social, the way guys are on social.
Yeah. So how people are on social media, it's basically curated to you. I'm sure if we open your Instagram and my Instagram, we are not looking at the same thing.
Yeah.
So essentially that's what we mean. We mean that you should have an experience that is so personalized that you feel like you want to wake up in the morning and check your bank.
Yeah.
You see this anxiety I was talking about when the bank contacts you.
Yes.
I'm sure some people, when they see a text from certain banks, they're just like, why are they texting me? Or even from certain digital lenders.
Yeah.
It's actually creating mental health issues in this country.
It is true, because there's actually a quote that says, borrow 10,000 shillings from a bank, that's your problem.
That's your problem.
Borrow 2 billion shillings from the bank, that's the bank's problem.
Bank's problem.
And I'm sure the frequency of the calls is not the same.
Exactly.
One is for encouraging you, finding out, inviting you for golf tournaments. The other one is, hey boss, we will list you negatively.
Yeah.
So speak to that.
Yeah, so just, in line with that is to say, we want you to have a positive experience. We want you to always feel like you want to keep on checking your bank account. We want you to be we want to be part of your socials, basically. We feel that banking should be trendy.
Yeah.
And I know it's not something that is it's not bank-like to say that a bank should be trendy, because I feel that people have always worked so hard to be good to the bank. It's like, I have to take my salary every month. I have to do this because the bank is checking, and the day I'll want a loan, they're going to give me a loan.
Yes.
No, we want to change that. Let's throw that book out. Let's say it's your money. You bank how you like, and when you need credit, the system is going to make a decision on your credit, and you'll be fully aware. So it's fully transparent, it's fully accessible, it's fully customized, and now it's open to you and fully digitized.
And like I said last time, money ought to be lighter. Money cannot be heavy.
Yeah.
Now speak to that African young man, young lady. Give them your parting shot.
Yeah. So to the African young lady who is, number one, you're trying to build up your business, you're employed, or maybe not, but you're trying to build up your business, you're thinking about your side hustle, whether you're doing something creative, or whether you're earning even internationally from online jobs. I just want to tell you, Cloud9 is the bank for you. You bank with us, you get a fully digitized experience. You can be able to give us your feedback. We can be able to customize the system based on what you need. And you will not have to struggle with the things that you're currently struggling with your existing bank. I know some young people are keeping their money on their mobile money wallets or wherever they're keeping them. It's just to say that you can be multi-banked, but find something that works for you, and Cloud9 might be it. To the young man out there who's doing his hustles and he's trying to just make ends meet, still trying to have fun, We just want to position Cloud9 as a bank that can be able to grow with you and can be able to give you a customized experience, whether in your friends group or even individually by yourself. Whatever it is you're looking for, Cloud9 is here for you.
Hanisa Weru, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today. That is Hanisa Weru, who is not here to change banking, but she believes it could evolve and have a bigger impact on our people. So this is it. This is courtesy of Cloud9. They're already on a mission. Look at what we are doing at Podcast Africa as our official sponsors, and we are spreading this word. Stay tuned. Look forward to the next one. And subscribe, share, and learn from us. Remember, it's not about counting the money, but making it count. My name is Amos Gahu.